So I would work the problem, and then that's how I would teach the lesson, is by showing them how to work the problem and letting them work it with me. For the first one, I would let them do it step by step and let them answer with me and see if they can figure out and do it. And then for the second, I would work four problems. For the second, third, and fourth, we would work them together. And after that, we would assign them problems in their workbooks to do, and we would walk around and give one-on-one assistance, all three of us. And so that's really what we did the majority of the time in the classroom, was give one-on-one help, because that's what most of these students are struggling in math. There's only a few in there that were really understanding it. So that was what the teacher thought was the best thing for us to spend most of our time doing. So that's what we did in these division lessons. So I would start off by doing a review. So let's review division. We're going to do 6 into 2. So how do we divide? What times 2 will give us 6? 3. So what is our next step? We're going to say 3 times 2 is 6. Now what do? We subtract. Good. 6 minus 6 is 0. Do we have a remainder? Nope. So our answer is 3. Very good. We didn't have anything to drag down. Let's see if we got something this time. Let's say 400 divided by 10. So first off, are we dividing 4 into 10? Or are we dividing 40 into 10? 40. So we need to make a mark right here so we know where to put our number, because we are not dividing 4 into 10. We're dividing 40 into 10. How many times can 40 go into 10? 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 40 minus 40 is 0. Do we need a 0 there? We don't have to, but we can, because it's a placeholder. If it helps you, you can put the 0 there. If it doesn't, leave that out. I always just leave it out, but if you need it, you put it. Now what do? We need to bring down our 0. Ten times what will give us 0? 0. 10 times 0 is 0. Do we have to do that last step? No, but if it helps you, then do the extra step. But you don't have to. So our answer is 40. Now how do we check? We need to check our work. So we need to check by multiplication. We're going to check our answer by our dividend. Or divisor, I'm sorry. So 40 times 10. Our zeros. And 4. 400. Is that the same as our problem? So you did it right. Always check your work. We're going to check on every one. If you don't check, you miss half the problem. Okay, so let's do another review. One more review, and then we'll move on to the lesson. We're going to do 60 divided by 20. So to start off with, where do we put our number? Above the 6 or above the 0? Above the 0. Because we are dividing 60 by 20. So we have 2 digits, so we have to move over 2 digits. Make you a little mark there if you can't remember that. Okay, so how many times will 60 go into 20? What can you do to help you figure out a number to make it easier? You can cover up the 0, cover up the 0. How many times does 6 go into 2? Well, we already said 3. Good. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract, you good? You get 0. Is that our answer? Now let's check. We're going to multiply 20 times 3. 60. Is that what we had? Yep. So we are correct. Alright, so let's move into our lesson. Our lesson, we are going to be dividing two-digit numbers into two-digit numbers, and we're going to have a remainder. So for these, we're not necessarily going to have a 0 on the end, so they're not going to come out evenly like they have been. So we're going to show you how to do this. So let's say 67 into 21. Start off with, where are we going to put our number? We got 2 digits and 2 digits. Where are we going to put? Over the 7. Good. Okay, so can we work this the same way we worked the last problem? Can we cover up the 1 and cover up the 7 and get a number to start with to see if we can multiply it by? Yeah, that's an easy way to start off. So let's do that. 2 divided by 6 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Now what do? Subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4. 6 minus 6 is 0. Do you have to put that? No, but you can if you want to. It's just a placeholder. So 4. Do we have any more numbers to drag down? No. So what we're left with is 4. 4 is our remainder. So now what you do with that 4 is you make an R, a tiny r. I made it a little big. Remainder 4. So our answer is 3, remainder 4. Well, how do we check that? What would we do if we didn't have that remainder to check it? We would multiply. We would multiply our quotient by a divisor. So let's do that. Let's multiply 21 times 3. 3, 6. Okay, so is that our answer? No. What do we do with our remainder? We got to add it. We don't multiply our remainder, we add it. So once we get our answer, we add in our remainder. Is that what we started with? Yep, we did it correctly. Let's work another problem. See if we can do it together. It's not bad, just adding an extra step. Let's see, let's do 91 into 68. That one's a little tougher. So can 68 go into 9? No. So we have to put our answer right there. Make you a little mark. So how many times can 6 go into 9? Or 9 go into 6? 1 time. And then we got to subtract. 1, take away 8, can't do that, we need to borrow. 11, 3, 23. Do we have anything else to bring down? No. So 23 is our remainder. We need to check, is our remainder less than our divisor? Yes, then it can work as a remainder. If your remainder would have been 69 or 70, just a higher number than 68, then you need to check your multiplication up here because you did it wrong. Your remainder has to be less than your divisor. So let's check this answer and see what we get. We need to multiply 68 times 1, 68. Now what do? We add in our remainder. Good. That's 23, 11, 7, 91. Is that what we got? Right. Let's do one more and then we'll work problems on our own. Let's do 76 into 39. Okay, so are we dividing 7 into 39 or 76 into 39? 76, we're going to make our mark right there. We need to put our number right there. Let's see. How many times can 6 go... I'm sorry. How many times can 7 go into 3? 3 go into 7. I'm sorry. I just confused. I'm sorry. How many times can 3 go into 7? 2. 2 times 9, 18. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6. 7. Ooh, ooh. 78. Can we take 78 away from 76? No. So what we need to do is we need to go down one number up here. It doesn't always give you the correct answer when you do that, but it gives you a number to start with. And if you do that, that's okay. You just start back over and go down a number. So let's try 1. 1 times 39 is 39. Subtract. 16 on 9. 7. 3. 37. Hold on, before we check, is our remainder less than our divisor? Yep, so now let's check. So 39 times 1, 39 plus 37. I'm sorry. I subtracted 39 plus 37. Let's see. 1676. Is that what we started off with? Yep, then we are correct. And now we'll work the problems in your worksheet. This will be the time when I would start writing the problems on the board for those who have lost their book or just didn't have it with them. I would write the problems they were doing on the board so they could see it. And then we would walk around and make sure everyone was doing it correctly and help them when they needed it. So that's our lesson. And then we would assign homework. Most of the time it would be the problems we worked in the board because, the problems they were working in the worksheet would be their homework because we would run out of time, and that's what we might assign 2 more.